Hello friends and welcome to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and today I am pleased to introduce you the latest addition to the First Order faction, and that is going to be First Order Executioner. So for those of you who called that whole traitor among us, or the price for treason, or whatever it said, you were right. This is the First Order Executioner, and we are getting it. And what's interesting about this is I think he is going to be a very simple character, but a very needed character. He has 3 abilities. 2 of them are attacking, and 1 of them is just a unique ability. But he is going to be one of those characters that we are going to be happy to have on a First Order team. Now, this video, what I'll do is I'll break down what he looks like as far as his abilities. I will talk about where best to use him, and just general game, theory crafting as to what I think he means for the First Order and for our rosters in general. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it. Again, like I said earlier, he has 3 abilities, 2 attacking, 1 uniques. He is a dark side alignment character, obviously the First Order. He is an attacker and a First Order. Those are the tags that he gets. It describes him as a merciless First Order attacker who executes powerful attacks on his enemies. And powerful is maybe an understatement. I think that this is definitely one of those characters that I'm glad to see added to the game. His first ability is called Judgment, and it reads that it deals physical damage and gains health up plus 30% for 1 turn. If the target is debuffed, the attack is guaranteed to be a critical hit, and First Order Executioner gains advantage for 2 turns. Now, what's interesting is under a Kylo Ren Unmasked lead, that is going to give him some awesome perks. Now, I'll talk about that in a minute. So let's just jump real quickly into his second ability. His first special ability, his only special ability, it's called Death Sentence. Now, this is really interesting, and I think definitely one that I'm curious to see how it works out and how it, plays out. It deals physical damage to target enemy with a chance to, it will remove 50% turn meter. Not a chance, but remove 50% turn meter and dispel all buffs on them. Now, I'm curious to see how that works in the first phase of the tank when you're attacking Grievous. I hate that guy, and this could be an interesting addition to that first phase. It does say later on that he's going to be viable in all phases. Now, that's yet to be seen, but I think it'll be interesting to see him in the first phase of the tank. But it continues. It says, if this attack defeats an enemy, right? If it's one of those guys that you're about to defeat, or if you defeat him, First Order Executioner gains 80% turn meter, and the cooldown of this attack is reset. Otherwise, he gains 40% turn meter and 20% max health stacking until he defeats an enemy. Then, if it's not reset, the cooldown is 3. Now, that is really interesting for a few different things. Like I said, that 50% guaranteed turn meter to remove is awesome. And then if it defeats, he gains 80% turn meter. Even if it doesn't defeat, he gains almost half of it back, but then he gets, stacking health. That's awesome. It's interesting to see. I think he's going to be a very useful character in phases like in phase 3 when you're going up against all those rocket droids. You just start knocking those guys out, and then you're left with just that battle droid, or that main droid, and you have the right team, and all of a sudden this guy does a ton of damage. This ability kind of reminds me of Darth Maul's ability, where if he kills someone, he gets like some turn meter going, and then he keeps going and going and going and gets juiced up on death and destruction. That's what I'm seeing in this. That's what I'm seeing here, and I'm really curious to see how this is going to play out. Now, his unique is called Total Order. When First Order Executioner scores a critical hit, he gains 10% max health stacking until the end of the encounter, and First Order allies gain 10% turn meter. First Order Executioner has a bonus of offense equal to 5% his max health. So if he has a ton of max health, he has 5% of that going to his offense. Holy crap. So, under a Kylo Ren Unmasked, First Order allies have a plus 40% critical damage, which is awesome, and plus 30 speed. So assuming that if he's on average 120 speed, he's automatically 150 speed. You throw in some speed mods, he is going to go often. When a First Order ally scores a critical hit, which he, again, is likely to score a critical hit often, they will gain 20% turn meter. When a First Order ally gains a status effect, they recover 5% health and 5% protection. So on his basic attack, as long as it's a critical hit, he's going to get 5% protection, 5% health from the ability. He'll get health up 30% for 1 turn, which is awesome. He will get advantage, which he gives himself, and then he also gets 20% turn meter, assuming that critical hit the 10% turn meter that he gives to First Order allies doesn't apply to him. If it does apply to him, he will get 30% turn meter. That's ridiculous, right? On top of if he's fast as it is. Now, on his special, if it'll take off 50% turn meter from the enemy. It'll dispel all buffs on them. I'm assuming all buffs that aren't officially locked. If this attack defeats an enemy, which it probably will, or it could, depending, First Order Executioner gains 80% turn meter. Couple that with Kylo Ren's ability, and all of a sudden, he's going to go again and again and again and again. It's going to be often. He is going to be a devastating blow to certain areas of the raid and certain areas of the tank raid, and definitely certain areas of other areas of the game. I'm really curious to see what this is going to look like, because that's awesome. That is really, really cool. Now, the strategy and the utilization that it talks about, the synergies here, I'll just read what it says. It says, overall, First Order Executioner provides a significant damage boost to all Kylo Ren Unmasked squads, which obviously in the Heroic Tank Raid, as well as the Heroic Pit, because if you're still struggling with Pit, you're probably fairly new. He also provides the First Order with much needed Attacker Dispeller. This is the first Attacker Dispeller in the dark side, or for the First Order, and that is important, especially in the dark side territory battles. Death Sentence, Total Order are really going to help move the team along. They're going to keep giving turn meter to just about everyone, because if he's killing on Death Sentence. So essentially what you're going to want to do, like if you're in Arena or if you're in dark side territory battles, right, you're going to get everyone low enough, then you bring in the Executioner, call him Foe. Ha! Foe, not Poe. Clever. You bring in Foe, and it's like boom, 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 boom. He takes out an entire series of characters, right? As he's taking out those characters, he's boosting himself back up, giving himself more health, giving himself more protection. It's going to be a madhouse, a slaughterhouse. It's going to be just a really crazy... He's nuts. Now, we don't know when he's coming. We don't know where he's coming. I would assume this is going to be in the form of a marquee event. This is just one of the latest characters. I don't know if there's going to be more characters to go with it. This is all the information I got with this, so I'm thinking we'll probably just get this one guy in a marquee event coming in probably the next 2 or 3 weeks. Not sure. But it does lead me to wonder what this means for the future of, like, the next couple of months. In my last video, I talked about how I think Rose is going to be added to the game. I think this could be one of those indications of that, right? This could just be one more piece of evidence that leads us to, that points in that direction, or that direction, or whatever direction she's in. Now, as I said before, this is the 8th character in the First Order that we will be getting to our squads. Now, I'm excited about this. I'm excited about any new character simply because I'm a collector. I like collecting new characters, like building up and seeing how they work. And And I think this is going to be a solid character, a great addition to the First Order that will fill out their ranks. We don't have a number of characters or a number of First Order characters in the game yet. I mean, we've had 2 movies. Really, we haven't been introduced to a number, we haven't been introduced to many different types of characters, and I think that could potentially change. Now, I do think that we're going to be seeing this come in the next couple of weeks. I think that it's likely that it's going to take the form of a marquee event. They are fairly easy to do, and yeah, we're probably going to get this character as a 2 or 3 star character with packs available and other stuff. So save your crystals if you want them. Again, I think this is going to be a good character. I think it's going to be a great one. And if you're a free-to-play player, just wait. Wait 3 months, and by the time May rolls around, First Order Executioner or Foe, which again, really clever, Foe, because he's a bad guy. He's going to be there for you. You can farm him, and it's going to be either fairly easy or fairly hard. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know where he'll go. I don't know when we're getting him, but I am excited for this character. I think that it's cool that we're getting more and more characters for the First Order. I think this is needed because really what we're seeing is the ability for us to build up multiple First Order teams. Now, there will come a time, possibly, when we get enough characters like First Order and the Empire, right? They're huge, or they're equal sized, right? Now, I do think that this is going to just be an indication of other characters that we're going to be getting. I still think that we're going to be getting Rose sometime in the next month or 2. That is complete speculation. I have no proof to that, but I think that we will. I think this is just going to be the next character in a longer list of tunes that we're going to be added to our rosters from episode 8. Now, that being said, what do you think? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm right? Are you excited for this character? Have you been farming the First Order team? Hopefully you have, so that you can unlock BB-8, so that you can then unlock Rey Jedi Training. I do think that this is a much needed character. I am excited, but I'm not the biggest First Order fan. So for those of you who are out there who are huge First Order fans, let me know what you think. Leave a comment section below, like, subscribe, share this video with your friends, with guildmates, whatever. This has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and as always, my friends, stay nerdy.